Merlinus, Redivivus by H.P. Lovecraft. In humanity's age-long struggle for emancipation from the ignoble chains of superstition, no retarding influence has been more potent than that of national distress. The inevitable result of a great war or social crisis is to cloud the atmosphere for rational perception, to inflame the imagination beyond the realm of calm analysis, and to give unbounded license to untrustworthy impressions and superficial doctrines. Antiquated fallacies, distorted coincidences, psychopathic delusions, and irresponsible thoughts, to which wishes alone are the fathers. Throughout the war-torn world, there is now being born a more dangerous and degrading era of superstition than history records for many centuries past, excited by a wild desire to communicate with the vast numbers of the honored dead, rebellious against the thought that these splendid souls are totally lost to the earth. The public have turned, with the irrationality of deep grief, to the hoary frauds and delusions of cruder ages, and have lent willing ears to the charlatans and eccentrics whose claims of spiritualistic insight are normally dismissed with a smile. Amongst the uneducated, an atavistical relapse of this sort was but natural. We do not marvel at the legends of the Marne, where the shades of our old English bowmen are said to have come to the assistance of the army and saved the day, or of Mons, where the angels are reputed to have battled on the side of right against the Hun. These and the usual mediumistic nonsense and amulet-wearing of the ignorant were to be expected. But we do marvel at the extent to which the scientific perspective of supposedly wiser classes has become distorted. Spiritualism, whose adherents now number many former men of science who should know better, is a frank surrender of judgment to the vague, subjective impressions. None knows better than the sober psychologist how vivid some apparently occult manifestations may be to certain types of persons. Yet the sober thinker can see further than the spiritualists, and can analyze the phenomena, tracing them to a material cause in the consciousness of the subject. The prime obstacle to truth in this struggle is the will, overpowered by a desire to believe in the supernatural. Men are everywhere ignoring patent scientific principles and encroaching upon borderlands where evidence is highly colored with illusion. Against common sense is arrayed a flimsy mass of dream stuff which, under ordinary conditions, would be laughed out of court. Were material communication really possible, are the dead able to make themselves known to the living? It is safe to state that the world would be a very different place. Secrecy would be non-existent, and death would be no mystery. In fact, the very rarity and frivolity of alleged spiritual messages are enough to condemn them as frauds or hallucinations. However general may be the relapse of the world into medieval credulity, it is to be hoped that the Anglo-Saxon sense and conservatism may exempt our particular realm from so pitiable an intellectual debacle. Well, before and after Christianity, amulets, charms, talismans, professional religionists, as they're called, it's always been a common thing. Now, for scientific reasons, we can kind of think of that. Why should we have to pay somebody else to do rituals for us? Why would a dead person only communicate through a hired help, right? We know that it's something in our minds, our bodies, that has some of the effects upon us when rituals and all that stuff is done. It's not that the object cast off this charm, or the object protects us, or amulet and that sort of stuff. But to say it's unscientific, to say that we can have an experience regarding the spiritual or of the spiritual directly itself, that's not really a scientific statement.